rocks. Then we finished up the Depeche to 1990. Bon and I had quite a few ideas for tracks, so we went in to kind of experiment and also ease ourselves and teach ourselves and ease the audience into what we felt was going to be the new material on the next album, which, as a consequence, we released As Is. We made it just before Christmas 1990, and then started on Ebbhead in January 1990. You had Alan Wilder and Flood producing. Since we finished that in August, was it? Yeah, August last year. Doing promo, toured Europe up to Christmas, and then we've been in the States touring since the end of January. Going to be here until 21st of March, then we go back to the UK, do some more shows.
Really, they're not as carefree. Seems to be a lot easier of an atmosphere in the United States. I don't know whether it's like just the geographics of the place or whatever, that it's more open, but people don't seem to be as uptight. People are too worried about looking cool a lot of the time in Europe, whereas here they just come to enjoy themselves and slam and stage dive and do whatever they want to do, so it's a lot more enjoyable coming here, really. Well, the fact that because we were on the Depeche Mode tour on our last time we toured in the United States, obviously our means are quite limited, you know, a small portion of the stage, very limited lights. So this time we brought our own production, we have our own PA, so the sound is exactly how we want it. The lights, we brought our own light show. We still pretty much keep it to our physical performance. That's keeps the show more with more integrity, I think, if we do that, and just concentrate on the lights kind of adding to our performance. But everything's within our control, and we've kind of scaled down the type of approach that we saw in the stadiums and are bringing it into smaller theatres and clubs, universities.
And the other main thing is that we're actually working on this tour. As you know, when we were with the Depeche Mode tour, we were playing like half an hour each show because of the size and scale of the Mode show. There are only a maximum of 3 shows a week, so we're like playing for an hour and a half every week, and the rest of the time we were just like eating and drinking, being raucous. Whereas on this tour, we play for an hour and a half each time we play. We do 5 or 6 shows minimum a week, and that means a lot more work, but also means more enjoyment because of the connection between our audience and ourselves is really important to us. The drugs and all the sex come in handy, but playing in front of an audience that's responding well to your songs is good.
It's kind of the acid test of all that arty messing around in the studio as well. You can spend weeks trying to get something perfect and then play in front of a crowd and they're like, wrong, so
don't come in.
Don't bang on that door again.
Yeah, I mean, you have to completely separate your approach to playing live and your approach to being in the studio, because it is a completely different environment in the studio. In the studio, you're sitting there with maybe 4 people maximum at any one time. You're sitting there in a completely closed entity where your ideas are able to go to their fullest extent. When you're on the road, then your ideas are limited to actually doing the songs that you've already written, and you're performing in front of thousands of people and mixing it up with thousands of people. So it's like the inward and outward side of each band when you're in the studio and when you're on the road. But I mean, we pick songs that are our favourites. You know, we've learned over the years which songs work well live and which songs are good fun to play live. So it's like kind of greatest hits styling. Well, I mean, we never thought of the album in any particular way other than wanting to be as honest as possible, wanting to show as much of our personalities as possible. An openness that we felt we were gaining while on the road with our fans was an important part of continuing to want to be in a band and continuing to want to make music, and I think that has worked really well, that there's a genuine closeness between ourselves. As the singles we've released so far have been dealt with in their own particular needs as far as we could see. I Give to You, which we saw as a very song-based radio-type track, it would be taking away some of its songness or some of its uniqueness if we tried to make it into a clubby dance track. So we refused to do that. You know, the mixes we had were completely opposed to the club version. Godhead, which obviously is starting from a very rock angle, just had a different version for the sake of having a different version. Really, we felt we could get something slightly different. And that was, again, to suit the needs of that particular song. The next single we're releasing is Ascend, which is very club-orientated in itself to begin with, so therefore the remixes have involved that process of appealing to the clubs or making it dancey. We're not into this idea that, oh, it's a remix, so we better do a club version so we can get into the Billboard dance chart. You know, it's not why we make music because we enjoy it, and so we don't want to have to appease DJs, record companies, or the fans even. You know, we just do it for ourselves, completely egotistical, selfish brats. Well, with Flood, I mean, we worked with Flood from the second album onwards, so Flood's just like part of the family, really. He's part of the furniture more than the family, actually. Yeah. He's just something that we know we need him because he understands us more than anyone else. He doesn't understand us completely, but he's got more in tune with our ideas than anybody. So, I mean, that, you know, from 1988 onwards, we've been working with him. With Alan Wilder, then, it's just we wanted him to mix a song on the EP just as a way of him being able to have experience of working on our tracks, because we knew we were going to have him for the album. With Jazz Coleman, who did a mix, a family man. Jazz was actually a second choice. We were going to go back to George Clinton, who did some versions of Fun to Be Had, but George wanted way too much money, and so we knocked that one on the head, and Jazz was suggested by Daniel Miller, who's the president of Mute, who's our record company in the UK. Barry Adamson is a good friend of ours, and we really admire the work he does and wanted him to work with our stuff purely from the kind of self-satisfaction point of view, being friends and enjoying his music. The Industry versus the Ebb was Daniel Miller's idea of a joke. It was like a joke, but not funny.
Yeah. Humour. A joke without the humour, definitely. It's basically, it was at a time when we were trying to resist a lot of mixes being done and stuff because we felt like a lot of them were superfluous. And Dan just wanted to have a free rein on the track, and we had a bit of a reputation for rejecting mixes at the time, basically because most of the ones that were given back to us were rubbish. So that was his kind of joke about it, you know, that he was going to go and do this mix, so it was the Industry versus the Ebb. You just do it. I mean, like with Godhead, for instance, we had to edit out some of the rude words so that it could be played on the radio, and so we could do a video to it. And we wanted it to be a single, and you know, it'd be completely counterproductive of us to choose it as a single and then insist that obscenities stay on it. So, you know, we can see the sense if we want it to be played, we want it to be heard. So long as we're not changing the fundamental basics of the track, then we don't mind changing it.